Death is the enemy. The first enemy and the last. The enemy always wins. And we still need to fight him.
You're scared, aren't you? What are you scared of?
What's going on, guys? Carmine here, and we are back with another Game of Thrones Season 7 preview breakdown. I just finished watching Episode 5, and I gotta say, ahead of my review, I enjoyed it a lot more than Episode 4, if that's even possible. You'd be hard-pressed to find something wrong with this episode. Everybody seemed on point, the dialogue was great, and even the characters I expected to suck, like Gilly, weren't that bad this episode. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. The next episode looks to be even better, with the Fellowship of Winter in the north running into the White Walker army, and another issue in Winterfell also cooking up. Since this isn't a full season of Thrones, there won't be a dreaded Episode 9, but it looks like we're actually getting a dreaded Episode 6 instead. The dreaded episode is usually a tradition for the series that moves the entire plot forward into the next season, and also weighs heavily throughout the entire series in general. So let's take a look at what we can expect from this episode. Also, before we begin, a big shout out from Quid for sponsoring this video. From thousands of stickers, collectible cards, and toys from all your favorite shows, Quid is the best app for the internet collector in all of us, or those who want to spice up their phones. From Rick and Morty to Game of Thrones, Quid offers a fun way to interact with all your friends. It's out now for both Android and Apple devices, so head on over there and download it today. Link below in the description. The preview starts with our plot-wearing main character, Jon Snow, looking around, scouting the area with Beric Dondarrion giving the usual Red Priest speech about how death is the enemy or whatever. I will say these speeches have got to be so repetitive and so lame at this point that I almost didn't notice it at first. Maybe it's because I'm so hyped up for this episode it didn't dawn on me until the second viewing. But thinking back on their plan, so they want to capture proof of a white to bring back to stop the entire war in Westeros so they can band together to face this much larger threat and go to war with the enemy beyond the wall. Okay, fine. But what I feel like they didn't account for is, what if the whites aren't moving around randomly like some video game monster and is being coordinated by the Night King into an actual fighting force instead of wild dogs who charge and attack at random? What if they're using tactics and strategies and maneuvers? The plan seems a little dumb because the entire army is heading towards Eastwatch. Okay, fine, they know this. So what is he hoping to do? Capture some scouts? The reason I say scouts is because when you're commanding forces into battle, you want to check your enemy's position and their fighting force. We've seen this done dozens of times in the show before. So surely the Night King is trying to scout out the area before he invades, right? Sounds like Jon's plan is to capture one of those scouts and bring him back. But the problem here is that they don't play by the normal rules of war, so I don't think they'll be using random whites to scout out the area for the attack. They're probably just all marching in one direction and taking out anything they see. The Night King is confident in his abilities and in his numbers. It's one of the reasons why he let Jon escape Hardhome. Because to him, it doesn't matter if Jon knows how to beat them. With the power to raise the dead and large numbers at their back, all the Valyrian steel in the world couldn't help them. What I'm trying to say here is that Jon's plan to capture some whites seem a bit dumb. It almost seems like they're going out to wander beyond the wall until they encounter a white and capture it. Seems risky, especially how the Night King doesn't play by the conventional rules of war. We also get some quick shots of Dany and Tyrion back at Dragonstone. Some people are saying Dany should have gone to Winterfell and stayed there for a bit and waited, just in case things got dicey beyond the wall. If they're outnumbered, she can just swoop in and help them, but I understand why she isn't leaving her position at Dragonstone. You know, she needs to show that she's still here in this war, if need be. I'd be surprised if she actually pops in this episode to save them. I'm expecting the armies of the north to come in, cavalry style, like we saw with Stannis in Season 5, to come swooping in and possibly saving Jon if need be, because from the preview, it looks like they're in the moment of tension, waiting to see what happens to their friends, so they may intervene. But I will say, if Dany and Tyrion appear randomly over there beyond the wall, I'd be so surprised. But I will say, if she does appear, then she better bring all three dragons, because she'll need them. Next up, we get Jon looking over at a large number of whites coming straight at them. At first, it seems like he's looking down and then back at them, so it's possible they got the white they needed, and they now need to get out. I can see that going down, like how in a heist movie when they get the money and the alarm goes off, so everybody needs to leave. And that's kind of like the feeling I'm getting right here. They got the white, however, the Night's King is on their trail, and they just need to get the hell out right now. We also get more shots of what remains of the Fellowship of Winter huddled together, backs to each other, and a nice little snowstorm is reducing their visibility. Once again, this could be the Night King's power and not necessarily the weather. We still don't know the extent of his abilities. We know he's a necromancer, but is he also able to summon snowstorms at will or even freeze large bodies of water? Who knows? But I love that we don't know, and much of who he is still a mystery. The most dangerous enemy is the one we don't know, and I like how the show is playing on that. We also get some shots of Winterfell with Arya and Sansa. It seems like Arya is talking to Sansa, asking if she's scared, but I'm thinking this is a fake out. I'm expecting Littlefinger to die this episode, since he's clearly trying to play the Starks against each other, but the question is he really gonna die this episode, or the last episode of the season? Because he's been underplayed so much this season, and they're barely using him at all and just making him do dumb things. So I'm expecting him to either go down this next episode with Arya asking him if he's scared, or maybe the last episode of this season. And after that, we get the battle we've been waiting for, the Fellowship versus the Whites, and even a White Walker general. Jon Snow runs straight into that one, and the fight is something I've been expecting to see for a while now. It's something I'm excited to see as well. Some people have been saying they would hate it if Jon kills another White Walker, citing that he isn't the best fighter on the continent, but he's somehow able to beat ice demons who have hundreds of years of experience. I will say, yeah, Jon shouldn't be that good, and his first encounter with one was a surprise on them, because they didn't expect this random guy to come out of nowhere with a Valyrian steel sword. But maybe he gets saved by one of the other members of the group. And speaking of which, we see the Hound has Gendry's Warhammer. I hope they don't kill Gendry off so soon and just give to give the Hound another cool weapon later on. And we also see here that Beric will be using his flaming sword from the trailer, and that they're running away towards that small hill we see the Night King standing on in this episode. I'm expecting a large force of whites, bigger than what we just saw, coming at them from all sides. And last we get the Night King and another of his generals coming in to close out the preview. I'm thinking Jon and him will have one more epic stare down, just like at Hardhome, before the final season. I would also like him to join the fighting, but I doubt he will, and I don't know, I don't want him to join, but at the same time, I want to see what he's capable of. And because this is the dreaded episode, I'm expecting a lot of deaths, but I'm also expecting an extra dosage of awesome for this special occasion. My wish list for this episode is to see more visions with Bran over in Winterfell, a couple of secondary character deaths like either Thoros or Beric, or both, and I even want some more White Walker abilities being shown, which is completely doable considering that the Fellowship took with them some random wildling background extras just to die, so there you go, and in case you didn't notice it, they actually did. The Hound having Gendry's Warhammer does concern me because I would call foul play if they brought him back just to beef up the Hound with a cool weapon. I enjoy seeing both Gendry and Jon together, and I do want them to have a bromance because of their fathers. We kind of see something like this in the books, even if it's just a little bit, with Sansa and Maya Stone, who is Robert's bastard daughter. But all in all, I have high hopes for this episode, and fingers crossed, I'm hoping it's the best dreaded episode we've ever gotten. Here's hoping. And before we close out, a couple of things. We are still doing a giveaway for the Hand of the King pin. I've sent out a couple already every single week ever since the season began. All you gotta do to enter is follow and tweet out to me on Twitter as the episode airs, and give me your own commentary, and who knows, I may pick you to win a Game of Thrones Hand of the King pin. But guys, that is all for right now. My review will be out later today, so look forward to that. I'll also be uploading a third video, which is something I've been wanting to dish out for a while now in collaboration with another YouTuber who is very, very talented. But let me know what you thought of this episode. What did you think about Jaime and Tyrion's reunion? And how do you feel about Gendry returning so suddenly? And even Arya and Sansa's recent disconnect, that seemed to come out of nowhere. Be sure to leave your thoughts below and I may include them in my review and discuss them. Also, in case you didn't know, we have a Game of Thrones podcast going on where myself and another YouTuber discuss everything related to Thrones every single week. And here's our small preview from the latest episode. What was your criticism of it?
I have this incredible plan. I'm going to get some poison, and then I'm going to give it to Dantos. I'm going to give it to a drunk, to give to a young girl, to give back to me, so I can poison somebody.
It's available on my channel now, so definitely go check it out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, show me some love, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time. Baba Booey.